Hello, y'all. What's up? Today is March 5th, 2023. It's Pisces season. We're going to talk about Pisces. And I know all the Pisces are listening because Pisces really love to know about themselves, just like Libras. So, today we're also going to make mention that it's Tina Marie's birthday.
Happy
Tina
birthday.
Marie, yes. Ivory Queen of Soul. It's her birthday. So, we want to say RIP and happy birthday to
Bless
Miss
up.
Tina Marie. And we're going to talk about Pisces today. So, Pisces represent the wisest sign in the zodiac because they are the last sign. They represent the wisest of all the signs. And when it comes to the body part that they rule, it will be the feet. So, of course, from Aries, it will be the head. And then down to the feet is going to be Pisces. So, Pisces can be well known for having well-shaped feet. They can be known for being dancers. And a lot of times you will see male Pisces in positions of management, like leadership, in terms of running offices and things that have to do with maybe blue collar jobs, or if it's called white collar jobs, or the ones where you be more so indoors. Um, Pisces a lot of times are very hardworking because a lot of the things that come up in their life have to do with work. They can be a very self-sacrificing sign.
What does that mean?
That means that they will give what they have to other people when they really don't have it to give, but they will do it anyway. Um, they will go through experiences with others, even though it's not necessarily something either should be doing, but instead of you doing it by yourself, they'll do it with you. You can look at them as like a fish or a shark or a whale. So in all those capacities, but the the symbol for Pisces is two fish going in opposite directions. So one of the things that Pisces have to be cautioned about is like being pulled in different directions by other people, or knowing that they can be pulled in other directions. Like people might try to capture them, in terms of when we think about fishing.
When I think of them from the Pisces that I know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they are split and they have two different lives. Like over here, they could be like very spiritual people, and over here they could live like very adult lifestyles, like dealing in adult affairs, like you say.
Yeah, I always say that Pisces are into adult activities. And what I mean by that is that if you look at them as far as being the oldest in the zodiac, then that means they've already been through what everybody else has been through, and they're already quote unquote adults. And so they get introduced to a lot of what you would call adult things very young, or things that many adults might do or may never do,
They
because
like get married young.
it could be getting married young, you could be having different sexual experiences young, um, doing things that, like having maybe certain cars, or just being able to have certain advantages that adults have that you are having as a child or a teenager or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Then Pisces, um, you could say that a lot of them that I know, they're very, very busy, or they make themselves very, very busy. So they're not the most domestic people. I think if they have children and once their kids get older, then they can help out as far as in domestic affairs to help them. But it could be a challenge for them to just keep things
Together.
tidy and straight.
Yeah.
Because it's probably just not a main emphasis for them. And then I look at it like this. So if you need a lot of help with cleaning and things like that, and you pay people to do it, or you have people, I look at it as like you have a mindset of maybe like a rich person, because rich people can afford to pay people to help them clean up stuff, So it's maybe part of that mentality of, let me get somebody to help me do this. Let me pay somebody to do something, especially if you just get so overwhelmed with other things that's going on in your life. You might as well. I mean, when we can find things to make our lives easier, and you really need that kind of help, then you should get it. Put that in your budget. Speaking of budgets, I think that Pisces are pretty big spenders, and I don't know how good they are with budgets, in terms of maybe they don't even believe in them.
They don't even knowledgeable of them.
So I've had to try to have conversations about budgets with some Pisces that I know, and it's just like, we can talk about it, but
yeah.
And when they talk about a lack, and I speak to them about, listen, you can make daily money. You're making money every day. Like, if you just made an accounting of all that, you would basically see how much money you really, really make. But if you're spending it just as fast, or it's not really assigned, or if you are operating from a lack, then it seems like the money is running out.
I think that goes to having a rich mindset, as you said, and I think that also goes to making yourself busy. Because if you're always going somewhere with this group of friends and this group of people and traveling here and, running this business and working this job, those things cost money to do. Gas, transportation, eating out, hanging out, traveling. Like, you like to do all these things. And then, like you said, they're self-sacrificing. So they're not going to tell people no. They're going to try to do everything. They're going to try to accommodate everybody. You're using other people's money. Like, it's a lot.
And maybe it could be because they feel like they're going to keep getting money, or they're going to be okay. And you probably will be okay in most situations. However, a lot of times things can just be a little bit easier. You can make them easier by doing some planning in certain areas. For example, don't go to the store when you shop. Maybe use a service where you order your groceries and then you go pick them up, or you have them delivered, because then you can manage your spending. It may or may not help, but
I looked at my Amazon cart, and
you may be able to manage your spending, but at least if you give yourself a budget, or if you're working within a budget, you can see exactly how much you're spending at that time.
I seen it, and I just walked away from the computer because I was like, this is ridiculous.
You just walked away from the computer. So what you can always do, because people are impulse buyers, so what you do is you just make a list. You put those things in the list. If you still want it later, and it's still that bit much of a desire, just get it out one of your lists.
That's basically what I do.
So
I made a list. I put everything in the cart.
Because guess what? If you really don't need it,
and I see
it'll still be there, and then you'll decide later, okay, if I want it or not.
And I told the Pisces, oh my God, look how much money is in
But I know
what
Pisces like to do. See, what Pisces will do is they will justify spending money, because they'll go to thrift stores and they'll go to other places to buy things. And because the bottom line may not be as much as somewhere like buying something brand new, it's justified. Like, I could spend this money because I went to this outlet or what have you. So the lesson of the day is, you want to sacrifice for others, but if it's causing a detriment for your family, you really got to think about everybody else too, because you might be able to sacrifice, but they can't sacrifice. So don't put people in situations where They got to sacrifice and do what you do, and they don't have the capacity to do what you do. Another thing about Pisces is they're usually very, very spiritual, in terms of whatever they follow, whatever their belief. If they believe in Jesus, if they believe in um, whatever, you could just say, you could just see that they have a faith. There's a faith in the way that they speak, in a faith in the way that they may pray, or the way that they acknowledge the Creator. So you'll notice that that's pretty common with them, or you can at least have conversations with them about faith, because they will be able to have those conversations.
My grandmother's a Pisces, and she can only have a conversation about Jesus. She cannot talk about anything else.
Oh,
and that's my reference for Pisces, because she's not gonna talk about that other part of her life. She's gonna talk about this part of her life. Like, she ain't over there no more. She don't live here.
Yeah, I mean, so come at them with what they want to talk about, but they can talk about other things. It may just be the audience. So if it's something that they may not be able to feel comfortable sharing because of the impacts of who they're sharing it with. Because if you share stuff with family, like, that never goes away. But when you talk to friends or other people, like, that's not in your family, that it might not never get back, you can talk to those people. So that's one thing a Pisces can do, because they know how to talk to all different walks of life, and they have like a humanitarian spirit where they can show level of care to a lot of different people. Um, but you also have to understand that they're ruled by Neptune, but prior to that, they were ruled by Jupiter. So before Neptune was discovered or whatever, they were ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that rules Sagittarius. So Pisces is like the planetary opposite of Sagittarius, what I call the planetary opposite, because they used to be ruled by the same planet. And then with one, you get day forces, and the other one, you get night forces. So with the Sagittarius, it would be the day forces, and with the Pisces, it would be the night forces. But the astrological polar opposite of a Pisces is a Virgo. And Pisces will find that Virgos are in their life somehow, like their dad, their sister, their brother, their spouse, their child, just someone significant, because they are the people that are teaching you the most in life in terms of yourself, a balanced view of yourself. But then you may find that you do have that Sagittarius in your life as your planetary opposite, but one or the other. Um, and that's one of the things that you'll notice. So pay attention to who's in your family. And a lot of times we pass on our gene pool through the signs, and there'll be a common thread in the household or in the family unit with the signs. It might be that everybody is a cardinal sign, or everybody is a water sign, or everybody's sign is one after the other, or everybody is a fire sign. So a lot of times there are patterns in your family's astrology chart that help you understand how we are passing on these traits. So if you want more information about your individual astrology chart, you can hit me up in the email below, and I can give you more information about your individual chart. But if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe.